Hey everybody! So today we're going to take a look at one of Montreal Canadiens' greatest defensemen ever, and that's Larry Robinson. I think if I look back and say my favorite players, Guy Lafleur is definitely my favorite player. But as far as defensemen go, I have to say it's Larry Robinson because I used to have a Larry Robinson jersey many years ago, and yeah, he was my favorite player. He was just great. As a matter of fact, I just to prepare for this video. Well, I've got all this stuff on the board, but I just watched a little documentary on him, and it was really great to see, just to see him play again. Such a dominant defenseman. He could just take over a game, rushing with the puck down the ice, carrying it from all the way from behind the net, even sometimes, picking up the puck behind the net and just racing down, firing a slap shot, maybe getting in close, and a little shot past the goalie, maybe just getting down there, finding someone open. He was just amazing. And then hitting. He was a physical player and finesse at the same time. But when he threw a body check, oh my God! If he connected you, you were smashed into the boards to the whatever. Never forget. I don't know what year. I think it was in '76, the year when they beat the Flyers for the Cup, first of four consecutive that they won. There's this famous hit they just saw against Gary Dornhofer. He hit him so hard into the boards that they had to fix the boards. He damaged the boards. Yeah, he got a boarding penalty for it. It was a clean check as far as they questioned the elbow, but he was so tall. But what you should check that out. I don't know if it's specifically Gary Dornhofer or Larry Robinson hit on Dornhofer, but check it out. He hit him so hard, so clean, amazing. This guy was just amazing. So let's get to it. First off, some information I don't have on the board that I'm glad I kind of watched that before because I didn't know. He grew up a Chicago Blackhawks fan. He said he really loved the jersey. Bobby Hull was his idol. He didn't like Montreal then because they won all the time, and he liked underdogs. Now that obviously changed when he was drafted by Montreal. Although he said he looked at the lineup when he was drafted by them, and he went to play in their minor league team. And he thought they're so loaded with defensemen, good defensemen, that he figured there would be no opportunity for him, but he was wrong. So Larry Robinson, nicknamed the Big Bird, because he was so tall. He was one of the tallest players, I believe, of his day. And one of the tallest one of the first big guys like that who could skate and hit and shoot and be a finesse player. And that was one of the comments from somebody. So Big Bird, 6'4", 225, big guy. Maybe today, even today, I mean that's a big guy. That's Shea Weber size. So that's Shea Weber size that could do everything. He really was talented. June 2nd, 1951, that's his birthday. I'm recording this the day after. I was going to record it the day before, but I wasn't fully prepared. So happy birthday, Larry Robinson. It might be a little bit belated, but happy birthday, Larry Robinson. It is up on my board. Okay, so that makes him 69 years old yesterday. Obviously, defenseman, and he was one of the big three. The big three was Serge Savard, Larry Robinson, and Guy Lapointe. They were, they were, if not the three best defensemen in the league at the time, they were three of the top, I guess, five or so defensemen. They literally, Montreal had three of the top, if you want to go even say top 10, if you want to be a little conservative. But I mean, in one team, and it's one of the things, obviously, that made Montreal so great back then. He was drafted 20th overall in the 1971 draft, and he made his debut in the 72-73 season. He had a 20-year career, and this is a record. I don't know if it's still, I think it is, and he never missed the playoffs. He never missed the playoffs in his whole 20-year career, which is quite amazing. But, I mean, look at the team he played for, right? Norris Trophy winner in 77 and 1980. Conn Smythe Trophy winner in 1978. Conn Smythe, everyone should know, is the most valuable player in the playoffs. Six-time Stanley Cup winner as a player. and he's won 4 other cups. One as the head coach of the New Jersey Devils when he took over. I want to say that was from Pat Burns in the year 2000. He took over from somebody in 2000. Right at the end of the season, I think there were like 16 games left, and he led them to the cup. And the following season, he led them to the cup final where they lost against Patrick Roy. It's 2001. And so he was a really good coach. I don't think that he enjoyed coaching, but I don't think he enjoyed head coaching. Because he really, as an assistant, he won, I think, 2 more cups, and then he won one last season with St. Louis as consultant, player development, something like that. He had one season in 1977 where he was plus 120, and in his career, he is plus 730. Plus 730. Now, a lot of people say plus minus doesn't mean much, but when you're getting plus numbers like that, there's something to it. So 17 of those 20 seasons were in Montreal. The last 3 were in LA. It was really sad in 1989 to see him leave Montreal and to see him in an LA uniform. He left LA just before the 92-93 season where we won the cup against LA. So we didn't have, it would have been really sad to be playing against Larry Robinson for the Stanley Cup. That's for sure. Just give me a sec. Yeah, I'm not sure if you heard the beep. It's lunchtime while I'm filming, so my oven got something in the oven. Okay, I'm not sure where I was. I was down here with the LA. Yeah, it would have been sad to see Montreal have to beat Larry Robinson for that, for the cup. In his career, he played 1,384 games with Montreal and LA. 207. Now, I've seen 208, so I don't know if the 207 or 208, but this was in his Wikipedia. 207 goals. 751 assists for 958 points in the playoffs. And I'm not sure, I think at one point anyways, he had the most games in the playoffs ever. I don't know if it still stands. 227 games. He had 28 goals, 116 assists for 144 points. From a defenseman, those are awesome numbers. He was a big, strong, physical player. Big, obviously, a lot bigger. There were some bigger guys then. I mean, there were 6-footers, but Larry Robinson at 6'4", which isn't that outstanding today. There's a lot of big guys today. Was big for the day. As strong as an ox. I think it was Dornhofer, and obviously because of that hit I was talking about. I saw an interview back in the day with him, and he said running into Larry Robinson was like running into an oak tree. That's how strong he was. There was no give. It was like running into an oak tree. You didn't really want to do it. And, early in his career, like Robinson didn't fight a lot or all that kind of stuff, but early in his career, he had a few, and it established him as somebody that you didn't really want to fight against. So, he mentions it in the documentary where, his career really took off when he started to get a little bit more physical. In his junior season, the coach was Al McNeil, I think he said. He was with the Nova Scotia Voyageurs, which was the junior team. And they'd come to him and say, listen, if you don't start being a little bit more physical and take advantage of the size you have and the strength, we're going to have to send you down from the, and he didn't want to do that. So the next game, he said he went out, he had like 3 fights, and his career just kind of escalated from there. So, yeah, big guy, you kind of got to be physical. Today, you see a bunch of those big guys. There's a few in the league anyway that they're big and they don't give you that physical play at all, and it makes a big difference. He was great in all 3 zones. There wasn't a part of the ice that Larry Robinson was not good in. Like I said, he could rush up the ice from behind the net, rush right up and score. He could, right at the net, he could score by taking a slap shot. He could score by getting in close with a wrist shot. He could set up a play. He was just a great hockey player. And in the defense, he was one of the big 3. Defensively, he was, look at his numbers, plus minus numbers. So he was just great everywhere and a great hockey player. Legitimately one of those, even though we're Habs fans and they say we look through, well, every fan base looks at their players through rose-colored glasses, right? And I admit I do that. But with Larry Robinson, he was admittedly one of the best defensemen of all time. I'm not saying he was the best, but he's legitimately in that group. Career high for his points was 85, so he was getting 80s, 70s, and 80s, like in that that range. He was an offensive defenseman, a defensive defenseman, and just an all-around great player. I talked about that. I guess I was going to talk about it at the end. And as a coach, like I said, with New Jersey in 2000, he won the cup. So I guess I've run through my Larry Robinson video. So if you like that, this is my quick look at one of my favorite players of all time, Larry Robinson. There's a lot, we had so many great players in Montreal. There's a lot of players to choose from. I have a lot of players that I saw over the years that I loved. And Larry Robinson is right up there at the top of that list. I met him once. He was a friend of my boss. I used to do pizza delivery, and he was a friend of the owner of the restaurant. And every time Larry Robinson came to the restaurant to visit was my day off. I never got to meet him until one day, finally, he ordered a pizza from somewhere, and I went and delivered it to him, and I have an autograph. I've shown it in a hockey card video. So I got his autograph, and he's just... Look up at it. He's tall and really nice guy. Didn't have much of an interaction with him, but he was really nice about it when I asked him to sign a card for my son. It was for me, not my son. And my son was like 2 years old. And yeah, so I got to meet him. And yeah, I would say, as far as defenseman, Bob Orr was my favorite defenseman and idol of the time for defenseman. Guy Lafleur, my hockey idol of all time. But right next to that, as far as players, is definitely Larry Robinson. And as far as for defensemen, definitely Larry Robinson. Bobby or Larry Robinson for me, for my favorites. So there you go. That's my video. I won't babble on anymore. If you like it, give a thumbs up. Appreciate that. While you're down there, leave me any comments you may have about Larry, about anything I might have missed about his career here. And yeah, do that in the comment section. And if you haven't already, subscribe, ring the notifications bell. That's going to get you your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge right here at Talkin' Habs. And my memberships are open, so if you hit the join button, you can find out all about memberships. And maybe we'll see you on the membership side where I do videos and live streams and stuff like that for the members, special for the members. And yeah, so check that out, and I'll see you next video. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Everybody, please stay safe out there, not just from COVID, but from everything that's going on all over the place and all over the world right now. So just please stay safe. I'm on the side of, I think I've made it known where I stand, and yeah, it's very sad and kind of affects me every time I go on Twitter. But yeah, please stay safe. Thanks for watching. Peace out, y'all. See you next video.